story. And my book is called Mole and the Baby Bird. And the author, the person who sat down and written the book, is a lady called Marjorie Newman. And the person who's drawn the pictures, the illustrator, is a man called Patrick Benson. And he has drawn a mole and a bird. And look, I have a mole and I have a bird. It's a blackbird. Let's have a look at what happens in our story. Whoops. Mole found a baby bird. It had fallen out of its nest. There it is. Mole waited and waited, but no big bird came to help it. So Mole took the baby bird home. He made a nest for it. Look, Mum, he said. There's his nest. It's very, very hard to take care of a baby bird, said Mum. They usually die, said Dad. My bird won't die, said Mole. His friends helped him find food for the baby. Oh, look, they're catching butterflies. They're finding bugs on the cabbages. Mum showed him how to feed it. To put the worm into its mouth. Mole fed it whenever it chirped. And the bird didn't die. It grew. It's my pet bird, said Mole. It's not a pet bird. It's a wild bird, said Mum. The bird fluttered its wings. Your bird is trying to fly, said Mum. No, cried Mole. It mustn't fly. Mole found some wood and some nails. He borrowed Dad's toolbox. I wonder what he's going to do. What are you making? Asked Dad. I'm making a cage for my pet bird, said Mole. It's not a pet bird. It's a wild bird, said Dad. You should let it fly. No, cried Mole. He put his bird into its new cage. Look at the bird. I wonder how the bird is feeling. Sad. The bird was sad. Mum was sad too. But Mole kept his bird because he loved it. Why do you think the bird is sad?
But he can't fly.
Because he can't fly. He can't fly when he's in a cage, can he? Then Grandad came to visit. He looked at Mole's pet bird. Presently Grandad said, let's go for a walk, little Mole. Grandad took Mole to the top of a high hill. And look, you can see lots of birds flying, soaring through the air. Mole looked down at the trees far below. He felt the wind, the wild wind trying to lift him. Whee! I'm flying, cried Mole. Nearly, said Grandad. When Mole got home, he looked at his bird. It was sitting very still in its cage, in Mole's dark underground room. Birds are meant to fly, said Mole. He opened the cage door and he let his bird fly away because he loved it. Then he cried. Next day, Mole went...
go and then it fly?
I wonder why Mole cried.
No.
He cried, didn't he, when he let his pet bird go? It was because he loved him and he didn't want him to go. And he was sad. However, the next day, Mole went into the forest. He saw his bird flying, soaring free. And Mole was glad. Because that's where the birds should be. Flying high in the sky. Now, over the weekend, we have had lots of wind. And the trees have been moving in the wind. And some of the birds' nests that are perched right at the top of the tall trees, right at the end of the branches, have fallen out of the trees. And the birds now have no nest to go and live in, to go and have a rest, or to lay their nest, their eggs. So today, when we go outside, there's a picture of a tree with lots of birds' nests. And there's a bird's nest. And there's a bird's nest with some blue eggs in. And those eggs belong to a robin. Robins lay blue eggs. So when we go outside today, we could help Bird and Mole by you finding some twigs and some grass and some feathers and making our own bird's nest. So those birds whose nests may have fallen from the tree can come and rest in their nest that we have made. Now, I don't